what is to be done. If you want zero accident, something needs to be done. Such conferences helps in that. Thanks to FICCI. See how many we can do. In India, I think on safety, there's many conferences are going on by different organizations, and everything is welcome. There can't be anything you can say it's excessive. It is something you have to hammer day in, day out. Safety is something, it has to come to our blood. In fact, if I compare to overseas, and this used to be one of the common question people used to ask, because since I had good exposure on overseas safety management system, what difference you have between our standards, our systems and their systems. We are very good at writing procedures, systems, nothing lacking in that. Our regulations are pretty stringent. As I said, our standards are pretty good. You can adopt it. But only thing is implementation, the culture, where the issue starts. So I will just dwell on a few of the topics. I want something of this to be taken back, to be discussed, to be implemented. Then the purpose of coming here, joining, networking, it will be served. As Mehtaji said, the risk management, that HERA, hazard identification and risk analysis, that's the core of everything. If you want talk of safety, you should be able to identify hazards. Now, all of you come from a process industry. Whatever industry, you must be there. So there's a lot of focus on process safety, and it starts from the design stage itself. Obviously, we incorporate many things during the design stage, many interlocks, many automations, SIL certifications, so and so forth. We do HAZOP, we do QRA, we try to implement each and everything. So we design a system which is perfect in nature from design point of view. So engineering controls probably we might have taken care of to a large extent. But now you are going to add something, keep on adding something, some addition, some subtraction, technology changes, complexity may keep on changing. So their management of change come into picture. Now in the process safety, many people or many safety professionals, they just forget occupational safety. Our data shows, and we keep data of entire oil and gas industry, almost 70% fatalities happen because of occupational accidents. We say we are a process industry. Processes, if it goes wrong, can be very fatal. We have seen Bhopal gas plant, thousands of people died. We have seen number of industrial accident in oil and gas itself, where the damages were pretty high. The fire kept on burning for weeks together, months together, disturbing a part of the nearby population. So it can happen whenever any of the industry, any release of chemical, toxic element obviously will have lot of impact. If we talk of marine, any oil pollution, hazardous chemical pollution obviously will have lot of impact on flora and fauna, isn't it? So process safety has its own importance, but since data says 70% fatalities happen because of occupational safety related, where trip, slip, fall, hit by, all those things become important, we should not leave it there itself. In a very recent accident, one of the fire tender which was being parked in its bay, by reversing it, one person was guiding it, and the person, when he was guiding, he was so casual, he was not looking towards the fire tender, and he was just guiding. The driver again, he was also very casual, in a zigzag way he was parking it, and in the process that person was compressed against the wall and he died. So this can happen in any of the industry. So for that, when you do hazard analysis, don't leave anything. It can be an occupational hazard, it can be an industrial hazard, it can be a man-made hazard, it can be a natural hazard. You have to prepare for anything and everything. Okay, and this risk register, what you prepare, the hazard list and the risk emanating from that hazards, that has to be a live document where you have to keep on adding hazards as and when your knowledge gets upgraded if some incident happens. So that's very much required to be done. If we talk of administrative controls, first thing comes to our mind is SOP. As soon as any accidents happen in any of the industries, it is said the SOP was violated. There is some procedure which was not followed. Procedure may be written, may be unwritten, but procedure is a procedure, there is a way of working. So it becomes important we revisit our procedures, see after any accident we have to see whether the procedure is adequate enough or we have needs a change. Work permit is again a very important document, not a piece of paper. So we have to see if work permit is issued, the area is free from hazards and all those conditions what is required. If it's a vessel entry, the oxygen levels are proper, it's hydrocarbon or toxic gas free, all those things need to be done. Training competency has again come out as a big area, specifically with the contractor. Again, our data shows more than 90% accidents or fatalities happen with the contract workers. So that needs to be taken care of. It's responsibility of the companies, whoever is engaging, they have to see the persons who are coming, either they are competent or the training has to be imparted by the company itself to check the competency of the persons. That becomes very important. Reporting of unsafe act and unsafe conditions that can build up culture. And the problem is everyone, any safety professional will know if an accident happens, 80% it's maybe because of unsafe act and 20% is because of unsafe conditions. But if you see the data, it's very easy to report unsafe condition because there is not naming of any person. If you have to report unsafe act, you have to name the person who was doing that unsafe act. So it's better we use AI tools, we use CCTV to review it, to find out what unsafe acts are going on, what procedures are being violated, any violation of any system. If someone new has come, are we watching it? Have he been given an induction training or a proper training? What needs to be done? If we talk of emergency management on a disaster risk reduction, obviously the first thing comes to mind is pre-disaster preparedness. And here all our safety management systems come into play. We have to prepare, we have to have system where if anything happens, we are trained enough, we are equipped enough. In oil and gas industry, OISD has standards on firefighting, which is followed by the industry, where every hour installation is prepared to fight fire for 4 hours. So they keep the water storage accordingly. Every person is trained. The drills are conducted. During our audit, we also see whether drills are done in a proper way. So this, we have to be prepared for the worst. Your ERDMP has to be good enough. During disaster, everything comes for a test. After disaster, we have to see what were the lessons learned. And yes, post-disaster become very important for industry like ours in oil and gas. We have to see that no petrol pump goes dry. Everywhere we have to supply our LPG. So if one of the refinery or my installation has gone out of service because of accident or closure or whatever it is, there has to be a plan in place where I can see it can be put back at the earliest. Meanwhile, we should have some other provisions to see that the country runs, every petrol pump runs, every household gets the LPG cylinder. So that's in a nutshell, and hope you all will work towards improving the safety culture where hazards are identified, where unsafe acts, unsafe conditions are reported, and they are taken care of. Thank you.
Institutionalizing safety within the oil and gas industry. Its robust and focus on training have strengthened operational safety across and grows. So does the need for proactive and we look forward to continued collaboration in our shared objective. Our next speaker, Shri Krishan Kumarji, CEO of the Disaster.
Dignitaries on dais, esteemed colleague, industry leader, but my experience varied. I have witnessed many, and fortunately for the experience and to prepare our country. Join you at OSHEP 2025, a national platform dedicated to advanced occupational safety, health and emergency preparedness in our industries. I extend my gratitude to FICCI and the Directorate about the part where our legislation and our guidelines supports. Laws are in place, but our practical approach, the belt, the southern part of Gujarat, southernmost tip of, just believe me, the industry has started from the cup of tea. Can you believe it? Lost his attention, the tea was boiled and gas minutes. When he again ignites the light, who has made the mistake and who has paid the price? That our this growing industrial sector of our economic growth and urban development, with a growth, however, ecological and natural. The recent amendment in the Disaster Management Act 2005 reaffirm our collective workforce and community. By Act mandates seamless integration of industrial emergency plans with district and state disaster management framework, ensuring coordinated response and resource sharing. On this point, I would like to share one of my concern. We are in the process of developing the Delhi plan for the disaster management. Unfortunately, it could not be developed since 2015 last, but now we are on the comprehensive exercise, and I believe, I hope that today's this conference, your workshop, would be very helpful for me, and I request Akhil Gupta to give me the feedback and the consolidated approach what this forum, this distinguished forum has had today. And the other part is about the lives of the workers, that is the community and worker empowerment. The Act recognized the importance of involving local communities and worker in preparedness drill, awareness campaigns and feedback mechanism. Now, a very important thing from the NDMA guidelines. The first thing that guidelines are requiring from us is safe handling and transportation of hazardous materials, adherence to ERDMP, Emergency Response and Disaster Management Plan, framework in non-negotiable for hazardous chemical management. The other most important concern is technological integration, leveraging smart grids, IoT sensors, and GIS-based disaster mapping to enable real-time monitoring, early warning, and rapid mobilization. The third thing is occupational health and mental well-being, as already has been discussed to a great extent, that recognizing ergonomics and mental health as pillars of workforce safety, especially in high-stress industrial environment, is utmost requirement of the day. The guidelines also speak about mutual aid and cross-sector coordination, promoting mutual aid agreements among industries and local authorities for resource pooling and joint response during we can learn a lot from the experiences of an industry leader, one industry to other industries. It is not about a safety measure in one industry. When it's concerned to the national interest and to the larger, to the public interest, we should mutually agree to each other. Now, in Delhi, our focus is for this development of our master plan and to implement, execute to save the lives, precious lives and property of this national capital territory. Our focus is on critical infrastructure protection, ensuring uninterrupted power supply, robust city gas distribution safety, and resilient supply chain for essential services. And second is capacity building, continuous training of first responders, industrial safety officers, and community volunteers. And that is the point where we need you most of the time. And my sincere hope, my request is for feedback and impact assessment. Highlighted during our discussion with Akhil ji in my office, FICCI has taken this initiative, and with I have no word to appreciate that this initiative, post-event feedback and impact tracking are crucial for institutionalizing best practice and measure real-world improvement, and that will help us to go on the drafting for this, our daily plan for disaster management. I look forward for your active cooperation. Thank you very much.
Technology-driven safety practices is now a necessity. We certainly will now invite our chief guest, Shri Rajendra Singh Ji, honorable member. And
people are young generation. And that is another good factor, that people are taking interest in disaster management, safety, and this is a good sign. And that is the foundation for Viksit Bharat, which we are talking about 2047, completing 100 years. Most of the things is already said by Rituraj ji, Krishna ji, and especially Arun ji. They have explained everything, how the industry should work. बट मैंने दो लाइनें लिखी थी जो मैं साइज लास्ट में पढ़ता, लेकिन उसको पहले पढ़ रहा हूं क्योंकि सब चीजें कंप्लीट हो रखी हैं. किसी शायर ने बहुत अच्छा कहा है कि हादसों की जद में हो तो क्या गम है, हादसों की जद में है तो क्या गम है, हौसलों की धूप हर साया बना देती है. इससे even if we are in the line of crisis, why to worry? The sunshine of courage can turn every shadow into shelter. This is what we are here and what we are going to talk about it. Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, respected colleague, my friend in the audience, Professor Vinod Sharma ji, Vice Chairman, Sikkim Disaster Management Authority, friends from industry and civil societies, member of FICCI, official from Directorate of Industrial Safety and Health, fellow stakeholders in safety and resilience. It gives me great pleasure to be part of this important gathering, which is jointly organized by FICCI and Directorate of Industrial Safety and Health of Government of NCT Delhi, focusing on an issue of pressing national importance, occupational safety, health,